What's up, Steeler Nation? What is happening, good people? Some of y'all are crying. Some of y'all are dying. I don't know. Listen, we're going to get into it, man. Let me make sure I shared the link out to everyone. It's going to be quite the show, I believe. And as you can see, doing it a little differently today. I am starting this show before the game is over. Because the game is over. In fact, the season is over. And I'm going to discuss that with you guys as well. I'm going to give you my thoughts. And that's just going to be that. I know everyone is going to have their opinions as far as whose fault it is, whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's Mike Tomlin solely, whether it's the players, whatever. Everyone's opinion is their opinion. I'm just going to give you my thoughts. And as you can see, I don't have the virtual background up today because I'm going to continue to semi watch this game as long as they didn't take it off because, the cable system service that I use is streamed. So it might be a little behind you guys and they may have cut the game off. I don't know. And if it's not on, then, I will cut the TV off. But anyway, let's do what we always do first and foremost. Let's say hello to the early commenters. Let's see what we got here. Sonny Rothmiller, Steeler Nation 412, Railfax, Dirk Storm, M. Marcus, Brian Quinerly, maybe that's how you say it. Light Iverson, Light Iverson, that's funny. Who else we got up in here? C. Brown, Walter Worthy, King 419. Who else we missing? Let's see what we doing right here. What do you know? The Bengals pick up another first down. So, all right, guys, listen. Like I said, doing it a little differently. As you can see, this is the post-game show. While the game is still going on, it's playing right there. You see it right there in the background. It's probably going to be a little bit behind some of you guys who have traditional cable. But there it is. And once the game is over, I will cut it off. But like I said, no virtual Heinz Field today. You're just seeing my man cave, if you will. Part of the man cave, if you will. But all right, let's jump right into it. I'm going to do what I always do. I don't plan to be here that long, guys, because it's going to be very simple for me today. Okay, Steelers inactives. First and foremost, Haskins, Buggs, Hayden, Johnson, and Rader. Now, look at this. Another touchdown. Steelers are getting their butts kicked, guys. I know some of you guys are saying, why are you laughing? Well, I'm going to explain. But anyway, it was interesting, man, that Matt Rader was inactive, seeing as that, we normally go into the situation. Oh, man, that was Pierre again. We normally go into the game with 3 tight ends, no Ebron. Kevin Rader was brought up, and they brought him up just to make him inactive. I thought that was an interesting, personnel choice. But again, Hayden we knew was out, Buggs was out, Haskins is out, Buddy Johnson is out. In-game injuries so far. Robert Spillane went down at some point in the first half, which is also another interesting part of this because I'm going to talk about Robert Spillane as he was brought in to replace Devin Bush very early in this game. Then he goes down. Let's talk about the penalties really quick. And these are just the 4 that I wrote down, but they were significant. Cam Sutton was called for a pass interference on the Bengals' first drive of the game. Devin Bush was called for being offsides on the first drive of the Bengals. Claypool, illegal formation on the Steelers' second drive. And then Pierre was called for a personal foul late in the second quarter. That's when he went low on the blocker or what have you. Let's do what we always do. We chronicleize the first series, both defense and offense. So let's do defense first. We kick the ball off. The Bengals pick up 5 yards with the pass to Mixon. Mixon then rips off a 25-yard run on the very next play. Breaks a tackle of Bush. Yeah, Devin Bush was one of the guys who got a hand on him, but he broke the tackle. Okay? Sutton is then called for pass interference, which we already talked about. That was on a 2nd and 7. Bush was called for offsides. Then he was replaced by Robert Spillane. Interesting, right? Maybe the Steelers are starting to see, and let me explain this. Believe me, the coaches see what we see. Okay? There's no way that they're late to the party. Maybe they hang on to a player for a certain reason or try to get him back. I don't know. I don't know why sometimes they wait to make changes. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that nobody on the staff can see what I felt like I've been seeing out of Devin Bush. In fact, both Tomlin and Butler, they all talked about Devin Bush this past week. So everybody knows why they've stuck with him for so long. I guess the obvious reason is, he was your first round investment. He's coming off an injury. You don't want him to lose confidence. That's probably the reason why they don't just sit him. But anyway, he gets replaced in this game. Then Steelers give up a 3rd and short. And then guess what? Joe Burrow finishes the drive with a touchdown scramble. Looks like the Steelers were playing man coverage in that situation. And the reason why I highlight that, again, I don't know for sure until I see the All-22, until I can rewatch the game at least. I highlight that because that's what was killing us a lot against not Joe Herbert. What was the dude's name? Justin Herbert. Okay? We got killed last week for that. And here we are again in the red area, and we do the same thing. It looks like we were in man coverage. Joe Burrow able to escape the pocket. Nobody on his left side. Scrambles in for a touchdown. Pittsburgh Steelers' first offensive series. They start the drive with the play action and find Deontay Johnson. I said, okay, cute way to start the drive. Not the traditional. Najee picks up 3 yards after that. And then guess what Ben Roethlisberger does right after that? Throws a pick. Trying to find Chase Claypool. Looks like he was throwing back shoulder. Claypool appeared to be going inside. And again, I don't know who's to blame. I don't know if it's Ben. I don't know if it's Claypool. But either way, it was an interception. Oh, so they didn't get into the end zone. Let's turn around and see what happens here. Yeah. Joe Mixon once again. All right. So the score is now going to probably end up being, look what they're doing, shuffling on us. 41-3 is about to be the score. All right, so Ben Roethlisberger throws the interception. Let me go ahead and just go through the key moments, guys, because there's not a lot to talk about here, because once I got to a certain point, I was like, forget it. I'm going to go live early, and we'll just talk then. All right, let's get to it. So, wait a minute. We got a donation. Let me go back and grab the donation. Round of applause to Edwards James Gardner. Edward James Garner said, what's most appalling is the lack of effort. I can agree with you there. Looks like some players, the effort doesn't always seem there, definitely with Devin Bush. Now, again, what I cannot say is what's the reason for that. Again, people like to point to coaching. I'll let you have your opinion on that. You guys know my philosophy, and I'm going to talk about this in a moment. My philosophy with coaching. Coaches call plays. They're responsible for personnel. They're responsible for the decisions in terms of when to use certain packages, yada, yada, yada. When to go for it, when to not, when to challenge, when to not, time management. Players are responsible for execution. Now, if you want to say that the players are not put in the right positions or the right spots, okay, I guess you could say that's coaching, because again, that would be scheme and formation and how you, but when you see the things that happen on the field that you can identify that was on the player, that's just how I judge it. Some of us may see it differently, but yeah, I agree with you there, buddy. The lack of effort just in some of these situations just didn't look good today. But all right, let me continue to move, man. And from time to time, guys, I'll turn and I'll watch the game. Like I said, you guys are getting to kind of see me in my element a little bit here. This is slightly different post-game show for some of you guys that may be new. I'm only doing this because the Steelers are getting blown out. It's the only reason why the show has started so soon. Okay, so Arthur Marlette and Wormley were able to get a sack on that next drive and then held the Bengals at that point to a field goal. So that was a positive after Ben Roethlisberger throwing an interception. At that point, it was 10-0. Let's see what we do here offensively real quick. I'm just going to take a peek. Second drive, Ben Roethlisberger goes deep, finds Claypool for a 41-yard gain. The Steelers were called for illegal formation by Claypool later in that drive. The Steelers then converted a 3rd and 9 with the slant to Deontay Johnson, and then there was a 3rd and 10. Steelers unable to, connect with Claypool, and at that point, Claypool was going up against Eli Apple. Eli Apple seemed to be able to play press man coverage on him very well. Claypool unable to come down with it. Steelers were forced to kick a field goal at that point. It was 10-3. Still in the game, right? Later on, Higgins beats James Pierre on a jump ball in the end zone. And Pierre complained about it being a push-off. And I'm going to tell you guys, that wasn't a push-off. If you look at the replay, that was not a push-off. He put his hands on Pierre like all other receivers do. Deontay Johnson does it. He does it very well. He actually does push off very well. Deontay has that A-B push-off. We can't complain when it goes against us. But again, let's see what happens here real quick. Let me pause myself. 3rd and 10. Ben goes deep. Finds Claypool. Okay. So he connects with Claypool again deep. Great time to do it, right? So anyway, Higgins is able to beat Pierre. It is what it is, guys. 3rd drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers converted on a 3rd and 6 with the pickup to Freiermuth. 8-yard pickup by Freiermuth. Steelers unable to convert the following 3rd and 6. They were forced to punt. And I did say it was a heck of a catch by Miller. You remember that catch by Anthony Miller? He only gained a yard, but that one-handed catch was crazy. But again, Bengals only brought 3 men. Only a 3-man pressure on that particular play. So I thought that was interesting as well. We've got a donation, guys. So let me actually, I didn't see it. Hold on. I know why I didn't see it. Is because I don't have it above the canvas here. There we go. There is the donation. Round of applause to Shadow Slayer. All right, he says, like Kevin Samuel said, we are average at best. I'm still a Steelers fan. Yes, listen, I'm about to get into that. I'm about to get in that because y'all killed me. Not everybody, but y'all killed me for saying I didn't have confidence in the team and that we weren't that good of a team and that, unlike today, I said we would be competitive. They would do just enough, like last week in the 4th quarter, to make you feel that they could do something. But this is what I've been saying. But thank you for the donation, my man. Let's keep it moving, guys. What else we got? Let me pull up my notes. Cam Hayward gets a sack, forces a 3rd and 12. Remember that? Cam Hayward gets a sack. And let me say something about Cam Hayward. This guy's a dog. He does, when I say it every week, he does something in every single game. Let me see what happened here. Every single game, he does something. He gets that sack. Steelers force a 3rd and 12, and then the Bengals convert with a 16-yard pickup. You hear me banging my own hands here. 16-yard pickup to Higgins right in front of Norwood. Steelers are then faced with the 3rd and 5. Bengals pick up 6 to Uzama, and then James Pierre is penalized for going low. That's when he went low on that one. And again, the Bengals able to do what they do. Next, 4th drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me read that really quick. Steelers unable to convert a 3rd and 1. They ran an RPO, Ben pump fake, and allowed Jesse Bates to kind of read that pass to Claypool a little better. Claypool didn't catch it cleanly, but we're unable to convert. But I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Let me see what happens here. 2nd and 21. Look at Claypool. Drop. We had some very catchable balls that was dropped in this game, man. I'm not saying it was going to change anything. But let's talk about the pump fake. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to circle this. And I'm going to highlight this because there's certain things that I want to come back and talk about after I read through what I chronologized. And it's not a lot, guys. I'm almost done, honestly. And I'm just going to pick out a few key points to talk about. Let me see what happens here on 3rd and 21. You guys don't mind me watching the game, right? Along with you guys. Okay, let's keep it moving, man. Minka Fitzpatrick. Round of applause to my man Minka. Let me make sure the applause is working. Oh, hold on. Let me put on my headphones for a second. Round of applause to Minka Fitzpatrick. Round of applause to Minka Fitzpatrick. And let's see what happens here on this. Oh, we're punting, of course. All right, I'm almost done because then I want to get right into you guys' comments. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you my thoughts and dive into you guys' comments. That's the point of doing this. Why the game is still on. All right, so Minka gets his first interception of the season. I love that from Minka, man. Did y'all see how much ground he covered on that? Beautiful interception by Minka. I told you it was coming. Maybe he doesn't have the high interception numbers that some of you guys expect him to have, but Minka has been doing other things. Have I not been saying that? I knew it was coming. It wasn't a lack of his ability. Great interception by Minka, but guess what happens after that? Let me mute this. Right after that, which would have been the Steelers, which was the fifth drive, Ben Roethlisberger throws a pick six to Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton gets Ben Roethlisberger on a pick six at that. What a way to stick it to your old team. And I know people, you're going to say what you want to say. Guys, it is what it is. This stuff happens all the time. But the reason why the pick six happened is what I'm going to get to in a moment. But Ben throws a pick six. All right. Sixth drive ends with the sack on Ben Roethlisberger to close the half. Seventh drive. Huge catch by Deontay Johnson on a 3rd and 7. We got a 15-yard gain, but the drive ends with Ben being sacked, trying to step into the pocket. 8th drive, Najee takes a check down, makes 2 guys miss, picks up 12 yards, and you notice I didn't write anything else after that because we didn't get any points. We punted again, and that's when I started the show. Steelers have 3 points as of right now. Let me do my due diligence here. Let me get my statistics up. Right now we have 3 points. Okay. Bring up the stats for me. It's not bringing it up for me. The NFL app is crazy, but I don't think it even matters at this point. Let's talk about some of the biggest issues in this game, guys, and then we'll get to it. Joe Mixon had 107 yards in the first half. 107 yards on the ground, first half. Last time I checked, this dude had 164 yards on the ground. Might be more than that now. This was only the second time that the Bengals have scored on their opening possession. Commentators said that they did it against Detroit. I don't have the facts on that, but I'm going off of what they said. They said this was the second time the whole season that they scored on their opening possession. Bengals were running on their left side early. Left side of the offense. Bengals were working Pierre in this game, clearly attacking James Pierre. Higgins had his way with him. Schobert is the leading tackler on the team. I did not know that. And I want to go back and look at the overall statistics of the team and just see exactly how much that is, but I did not know that. These are just my takeaways from the game. Claypool doesn't seem to separate. I'm about to come back to that. And the Bengals' first punt didn't come until the 3rd quarter. And then, of course, I started the show. So a lot of stuff I may have missed here, guys, but I don't think it matters because I'm about to give you guys my points. Then I'm going to come directly. Well, let me give you a couple of my points, and then I'm going to give you my overarching point after I read some of the comments here. Fair? So if you got a real juicy comment that you want me to read, have at it in about 2 minutes, all right? Because I'm going to get right into the chat and chop it up with you guys. Okay, let's go back to that pump fake on that 3rd and 1. Can y'all explain to me why Ben pump faked it? Remember the play? It was an RPO. Claypool is wide open. Why did Ben pump it? It's 1 yard. Now, if you want to say that Ben wants to pump and make somebody bite and then Claypool runs past him, okay. But it was 1 yard needed. 1 yard. One. He's wide open. He's past the line of scrimmage. You pump it, right? You allow Jesse Bates to get his footing, recognize the play, makes a great hit on Claypool, but I'm going to blame Claypool too. Chase Claypool, please come into the office. I don't care that the game isn't over. Come into the office right now, please. Chase Claypool, I got some issues with you, man. I really like what you bring to the table, your stature, your speed, your big body guy. You make some of the tough 50-50 balls, catches. But you seem to drop some money shots. Ben Roethlisberger shouldn't have pump faked it to you, but catch it clean. Why didn't you catch that clean? If you catch it clean, maybe you absorb the hit from Jesse Bates and we move the chains. But here's another issue that I have with you, Chase Claypool, in the chat. I hope you guys are listening to this as well. You don't separate. And this is something that myself, my good brother Kenyon, probably others in the chat, we identified this in college when we scouted you, and then especially once you were drafted. You don't separate. You don't separate downfield. You allow Eli Apple to win the press and bump coverage against you? No disrespect to Eli Apple, but we all know the journeyman that he's been. Chase Claypool don't get no separation, bruh. When we take deep shots down the field, who's the one that seems to always be ahead of their guy? Deontay Johnson, the smaller guy. Chase Claypool is a big guy with speed, but he never seems to separate. What's up with that, Claypool? You know what I think it is, Chase? And this ain't a disrespect to you, man. Some people have certain attributes and some don't. I think you need to be inside. I'm really starting to come to believe that now. You're going to be better suited as a slot guy. Every now and then put you outside, because you can still win the 50-50 here and there when we get the right matchup. But I think you're going to be better suited inside. Work the middle of the field. Work the drag routes and things like that, because you don't really get any separation. But I brought you into this office today because you dropped too many balls in this game, especially the easy ones. Like all the ones you had to go up and get, great. We applaud you for that. That's what we got you for. But you dropped some easy ones. But I don't know. Okay, you're done, sir. Let me go to the chat for a minute. Let me see what we got. A 3rd and 5 here. I'm about to cut this off because really everything that happens here is irrelevant. Oh, look at this. Keela Witherspoon gets a PBU. I'm not in favor of guys celebrating when you're getting your butt kicked. What do y'all got, man? Fire your way in the chat, guys. Then I'm going to give y'all my overarching thoughts on this team that I have been giving to you guys, and the reason why we lost this game, and the reason why I've been telling you that I didn't have confidence in this team, and the reason why I said in the title, the Steelers season is over. Let's start with George. George Cinder says, fire Tomlin, the coaches, and the GM, the laughing stock of the NFL. You're entitled to your opinion. That's all I'm going to say. One thing I would say there is I don't believe the Steelers are the laughing stock of the NFL, but thanks for your comment there, George. Y Diggy says, it's downhill from here for the 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers. I know most of y'all aren't used to this, but it was inevitable. Thank you. Thank you, Y Diggy. Now, the spring of 2022 will be a big period for the future of the Steelers. Yes, and what I'm going to add to that, Y Diggy, both the draft and free agency is definitely going to tell the story for the Steelers in 2022. Donald Loudenbach says, tell the truth. If Tomlin was a... here we go. We're getting racial, guys. And listen, I'm reading his comment. Whatever he says here, it may not be my words, or I might agree, I might disagree. I'm just reading this comment. Before y'all try to attack me, because people always attack me saying that I only like Tomlin because he's a black coach. You know that's what they say to me, right? But let's read this. Donald Loudenback says, tell the truth. If Tomlin was a white coach, you would want him to be fired. Just tell the DAMN truth. So you're one of those guys that's accusing me of that, or whoever else in the chat. I'm not even going to entertain that. Because in fact, let me show you how I am fair across the board. Y'all know what I want to get on Tomlin for in this game? And you guys might disagree with me. Because me and Kenyon, text back and forth. I didn't like the fact that Tomlin didn't go for it on that 4th and 1. The one after Chase Claypool, Jesse Bates breaks it up. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Go for that. Why? Because we have not shown. Matter of fact, let me show you. What's your name, Donald? Mike Tomlin, please come into office, please. Right now. Mike Tomlin, you might remember this is the second time I brought you in this office for something like this. The first time I got on you was when you did the fake field goal in Cleveland. That was stupid. I said it then. I say it now. Today, I feel like you should have gone for it on 4th and 1. At that point, we're already down 3 scores. Our defense has not stopped their offense. You need something to energize the team at this point. I would have gone for that. So for that, I'm criticizing that decision. It doesn't mean I don't like Mike Tomlin as a coach. I keep telling you folks, and I'm saying this directly to you, Donald. I keep telling people what my definition of what's a coaching issue versus a player issue. Period. Decision-making, play calling, clock management, personnel packages, schemes that you run and when you run them. That's coaching. Execution falls on the player. So I say all that to say this. You telling me that the trench battle that the Steelers lost on both sides of the ball today was all coaching? Any coach, pick any coach. I can't even say it was all on Keith Butler today. Now you can say that some of what Keith Butler, some of the personnel he threw out there, maybe it wasn't the right time. But I'm going to be honest with you. The way we were losing the trench battle today, I can't blame any coach fully. No coach on that staff was allowing the offensive line to get blown back. No coach on that staff was allowing the defensive line to get pushed back 3-4 yards down the field. But whatever. That's your opinion, brother. But it's funny to me how, as a fan base, we all can't just see what's happening on the field. And we all can't agree when coaches do things good or bad. That is what cracks me up. So when you say stuff like that, it lets me know where your mind is at from a racial standpoint. Not mine. But whatever, homie. Let's keep it moving. We got a donation, man. Round of applause to Sport 8. Sport 8. He says, I don't care if we win next week or any other week. Just end the season already. I can't no more. Pitiful. Ben and Canada need to go. Hey, I respect your opinion there as well. Like I've always said, I'm going to hold my judgment on Canada. I am going to hold my judgment on Matt Canada. Wait, somebody said we got a touchdown. Let me see. It said nice touchdown by Fryermuth. See, I told y'all I'm way behind because of, the way I stream my cable. What Miss Debbie said, hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing? Debbie, appreciate you coming through, hanging with us today. She says, Donald, Coward did not win it. Listen, man. Like I said, and I almost fell into the trap of arguing with people about how they feel about Tomlin. I'm not doing that. But because this is the show that I've created, and we all family here, I'm gonna address nonsense. Y'all kill me with that. Okay, Fryermuth. Okay, boy. Y'all kill me. You guys that try to accuse me of only favoring Mike Tomlin because he's a black head coach, Y'all are crazy. And I will not tolerate. It ain't about whether you like him or not. I'm not tolerating that. And honestly, as much as I would love to grow this channel, I'm gonna do it with the real people. I could care less if y'all feel that way. I would like to formally ask y'all to go somewhere. Beat it. Pat your feet. Click that X. Cut this video off. Don't watch me, because I don't want knuckleheads like that. I don't want ignorant opinions like that. I don't get it. So maybe you're a first timer, but if you could, we know your name now. So if we see you again, we're gonna call you out. Don't watch me if you think that is my intention. It's far from the truth. That's the craziest thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There's a lot of coaches I would like to be the Steelers head coach if it wasn't Mike Tomlin. And guess what? They're white. let that sit in your, like my man Country Wayne would say, let that sizzle in your spirit. Plenty of coaches I could say, oh man, he'd be a nice coach for the Steelers if Mike Tomlin wasn't there. All right, man, let's keep it moving, man. What else y'all got? Give me some more stuff, guys, before I dive into what I really feel about this team. And y'all can go back and forth with Donald all y'all want, man, but yeah. Like I said, I almost fell into that trap right there, but I will always address somebody trying to criticize my character. Like, I ain't allowing that. You know what I mean? I'm still me at the end of the day. That's just my personality. Jesse George says, yeah, I mean, we got to look for something positive. Can't swing so much. Like Debbie said, I've seen enough already to not let it affect my daily well-being. Laugh out loud. Just accept it and move on. Yeah, that too. Have I not been saying this, guys? This team ain't it, man. And some of y'all got on me bad, too. Y'all got on me bad, man. Shout outs to my man Mariano Pampa for the donation. Round of applause, brother. I miss Juju, Sam. I do too, man. I do too. And you know what? People hate Juju too. I definitely miss Juju in that offense, man. I think there are times that you can see it. We don't attack the middle of the field that much. Yeah. I miss Juju. Hey, Miss Odessa. Round of applause for Miss Odessa, man, being a member of the channel. She already was, but you know, those persons are highlighted. So hello, Miss Odessa. I'm going to read your comment as well. I could not disagree with you anymore, Miss Odessa. She says we just need to accept the fact that this season is over. Rebuild and a bust. Yes. Look at the title. It's over. Oh, look at this. Odessa, you too kind, man. Round of applause for the donation. Look at that stat. Y'all probably can't see it. The Steelers have 35 rush yards. Now, I understand, you know, we got into a situation. Let's cut this off. No point even watching this now, right? And I'm not even going to go get the background. Y'all, we just rocking out like this. It's over, guys, but let's keep reading. I'm going to spend some time with you guys, man. We're only 35 minutes in. Let's see what else y'all got. I'm going to get to the comments early, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this team, man. What else? Somebody put the trumpets. Rest in peace, Steelers. Yeah, man. Okay, Bengals fans, if y'all want to come in, and fine, y'all do what y'all do, man. It feels good, right? It feels good when your team is winning. Yeah, that's a shot. But y'all throwing them. I'm gonna throw one. You know, you tend to act like you haven't been there before. Well, welcome. You know, just keep it respectful. Anybody can watch. Just keep it respectful. Don't get ignorant. When you get ignorant, we get you out of here. Rico Parsons says, I think the front office is more to blame with a lot of horrible roster moves that was made. That's an argument that you can make as well. And don't get it twisted, guys. Coaching definitely, listen, there's always going to be an element of coaching that's a part of this. But what you guys never hear me do, think about even when we win. Do y'all ever hear me really come in here and overly credit Tomlin or overly credit someone else on the defense? Or do I? I give them credit for coaching stuff. I don't give them credit for player execution. But, I think Rico Parsons, I could go along with that too. There's a lot of stuff, man, that's wrong with this team. Knight Rider says, too late to say this year is a rebuild year. I heard a lot of people saying we had a chance all year. They did. But Knight Rider, you remember who didn't say that? Who is the one that's been consistent every week? And I'm not even trying to toot my own horn. Have I not been saying that every single week? I don't know. This team don't feel like I've been saying it every week. Remember at 1-3. And that's the funny thing too, guys, is some of you guys as fans, y'all go so overboard. When we were 1-3, y'all were throwing this team in the trash. We started winning. We won, 5 games straight? Now we are a Super Bowl contender. I remember these comments. I have a gift of photographic memory. I remember. But I'm never going to call nobody's name out because that ain't my style. But I remember some of the same people were saying we were Super Bowl contenders when we started winning again. Now we start to rear our ugly heads again. Now everything is bad. Oh, fire this, fire that. Tim said, y'all giving up? Nah, it's not about giving up. You have to look at what the team is. Come on, man. This is easy to see this. Cody says, wow, crazy state alert. Steelers have lost 7 straight games with Joe Hayden out of the lineup, and today makes 8. Yeah, I saw that stat, man, before the game. That is very interesting. Hello, the Egyptian Queen, back again. We appreciate you tuning in. She says, hi, Sim. I agree to the fullest. Ben looks unenthused. Bush is still horrible. Minka got beat all game, other than the interception. I got to look at that, the Egyptian Queen. Not saying he didn't, but I got to see the film to kind of know that part. But, I can't disagree with your assessment there. And she says, except for the interception, but all for Ben to throw a pick 6. Yeah, that was just an ugly sequence of events, man. Smitty says, I never thought we were Super Bowl contenders, but I still think we can make the playoffs with this bad division. Okay, Smitty, I'm going to come right at you in just a second. Respectfully. Wave Dave says, Sim always stay consistent. And listen, I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just saying, because I love when you guys call me out. When you be like, oh, man, see, you were saying. We all get caught in our emotions. But on this one, I've been preaching the same thing. Smitty, but here's the only problem with that. Let's be fair. Let's all be fair for a minute. Reason why I say, and I'm glad you said that, because if we won, this is the reason why I wrote up the title for this show and posted it early, because I wanted it to be whether we won or lost. Whether we won today or lost today, after seeing how the game started, the first few series, or let's say by the time we got into the mid-second quarter, my decision was already made about this team's season is over. Even if we still make it to the playoffs, we're not going anywhere. The season is over. It's over. The Steelers have not shown that they can stop the run. And guys, I know. A big part of that is because of Alu and Stephon Tuitt. I know. Personnel. Execution. See, now we're getting back to, is it player or coach? See what I'm saying? I know we're missing big pieces there. I know we have a Devin Bush that just doesn't seem to be playing the best linebacker. I know. But these are the same reasons why I don't think we win. We don't beat nobody. Even if we make the playoffs. We ain't beating nobody when it counts. Not this team. And yeah, we took a L. 41-10, whatever. People are going to throw up all over the Steelers all week. Oh, man, the first takes of the world and all of them. Whatever. I don't never use those people's opinion to drive my opinion. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all listen to what the commentators say, and that's your opinion. I never do that, right? But when I watch this team, even in the games we win, we ain't been able to stop nobody, man, for several weeks. And you know when somebody start talking low and whispering like this, they really mean it. We ain't been able to stop that run, baby. I don't think we stopped the run really since the Cleveland game. And that was, I don't know how we did it. But we did it. But every game almost we've played, there's been teams that have popped the run on us for big yardage. Detroit, even the Broncos. Just think about it. Seattle. Joe Mixon hit us for 107 in the first half. We still got teams that can run that we got to face. We got one next week at home in the Ravens. You think the Vikings can't run the ball a little bit with Dalvin Cook? You think Tennessee can't run the ball still, even without Henry? And just imagine when he comes back, playoff team. Matter of way, I need to check that score and see how. And another team that they played today that they may have lost to, I'm not sure yet, or may be losing, New England. Here comes New England now with this great defense. And they run the football with their young backs. I'm just saying, guys. You think the game goes the way it did last time against Cleveland? I don't think so. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Let's keep it moving. Football Mind says stopping the run and running the football should be the basis of who the Steelers are. And we haven't been that for several years now. There you go. So how far are we going? How far are we going? Just saying. I'm just saying. New England won. See? Look at that. Look at that. Look at New England. What's up, Leonard? He says that Bush needs to be benched. Yeah, we all know that, man. We all are on board with that. You know, Bush just not right this year. He's just not right this year. Double T says, until the Steelers change how they do business with player contracts, we will never have good depth. Uh-oh, Double T. Now you're getting somewhere. Now you're getting somewhere. That sounds like personnel. Terry Carter says our linebackers cannot play clean and get caught up in the wash. Terrible defensive line. Yeah. Defensive line has not played well outside of Cam Hayward. Well, Wormley was playing well earlier in the season. He's still decent, but we getting washed out on that line, man. Destiny says we look soft. Yeah, listen, the team definitely looks soft because they're getting pushed around. But this is the thing that I always push back on. Not you, Destiny, just saying in general. You know, a lot of people will say team is soft and they blame the coach on that, right? And y'all are never going to get me to agree with that. I don't care who the coach is. Something like that, that's the player, bro. How you play is on you. There's no way I will never believe that any coach, I'm not even talking about Tomlin, any coach on the NFL level, college level, I will never believe that a coach can make you soft. The dog got to be in you, period. And we got dogs on our team. Is Cam Hayward soft? Is TJ Watt soft? Alex Highsmith, is he soft? Minka? I'm just saying that if the dog not in you, you're going to be soft. And if you ever hear me say a team is soft, that's what I'm saying, is I don't see the dog in certain guys. You know who else ain't soft on that O-line? Kendrick Green is not a soft player. Kendrick Green is doing the best he can at his size. He's probably not a natural center. We all know that. That kid ain't soft, man. That kid is a dog. See what I'm saying? So my version of that is a little different. It's a little different from what other people would say when they say a team is soft. But again, like I said, I don't know if that's what Destiny is saying. I'm not talking about Miss Destiny. And Destiny, I know she knows that. See, I ain't even got to say that. Destiny knows where I'm going. What else y'all got? Let's see. And then in a minute, I'll get to my thoughts here in a minute. We had 46 minutes. Estastic says Kevin Colbert is soft. Maybe. Rico Parsons says, we got a few dogs and a lot of puppies. I agree with that. What else y'all got? Yeah, Antonio, how do you pronounce that? Is it Leopard? He says, Bush doesn't have that dog. He don't have it this year. He definitely don't have it this year. Jordan Mid says, let me get back to you, Jordan. Where are you? He says, Minka ain't soft. Whoever thinks that, seek help immediately. I'm telling you, and again, when some people use that word, we're using it differently. But there's a lot of people who just throw that out there as a general statement, and they say it's the coach's fault. I'm like, wow. Let's see. Jonathan Harvey, team is soft because the head coach is soft. It's true. The coach got to put that. All right. Okay, Jonathan. I respect that opinion, but I'm sorry. I just don't believe that, man. Because again, you have to. Here's the thing. I want to see how you answer this. When we beat the Cardinals, right? When the Steelers beat the Cardinals, and when the Steelers went back to the Super Bowl again against Green Bay, was the team soft then? I have a feeling I know how you're going to answer this, but was the team soft then? See, what most people are going to say is, well, that's because it was mostly Cowher's players and he built them to be. Come on, man. But if it's the coach, then the softness should trickle over, right? Were we soft then? Even post Cowher, were we soft when we were ranked the number 1 or 2 defense for several years? Or are you going to say Dick LeBeau wasn't soft, so he took the brunt for the head coach? I'm just saying, I don't care who the coach is on any football team. I will never accept that a coach is the reason why a team or player is soft. That's just me. Take Tomlin out the equation. Let's look at any team. I will never accept that as someone who played ball. You either soft or you not. Ain't nothing that coach can do to make me soft. That's just my opinion, man. But I respect yours. Let's see what else y'all got. Leonard Green says, Ben, in my opinion, has a self-destructive mechanism in his head when things go bad. He also seems to play into that. Yeah, man, Ben go crazy sometimes, man. Haha. It's a good point, Debbie. That is a good point, Debbie. Like I said, let me put this out here to make sure that you guys understand my point. I am not defending or arguing against anyone's opinion of Mike Tomlin. Let's make that clear. That is your opinion. I am not here to challenge that. I'm only here to challenge, number one, if people start talking racial stuff. Number two, stuff that to me that ain't football stuff. I'm sorry. I don't believe that Mike Tomlin as the head coach. Let's take his name away. The guy who's the head coach of the Steelers right now, I do not believe he preaches softness. I'm sorry. Now, if you like him, great. If you hate him, great. But I do not believe that he makes a soft team. I don't believe that. It's too much evidence out there that says otherwise. When you hear these tidbits that they don't put out there, the sound bites and all of that, and how he talks to the I'm sorry. Y'all ain't gonna convince me of that. You can have your opinion. Great. Like I said, I don't care how you feel about Mike Tomlin. If some of y'all want him fired this year, fine. But I hate to disappoint you. He's gonna be the coach next year. And I can promise y'all this. as long as y'all rock with me, whenever the next coach comes, I'm going to be the same way. I'm going to have the same approach on what I think is his fault versus the players. Mark my word on that. All right, what else? A few more. Matt Banu says, I think the O-line is just not that good. Same thing that happened last year. The defense is just tired and not like how they are at the beginning of the season. That's part of it, man. The O-line. I'm about to go there because that's where I'm going to go to kind of wrap this show up. The O-line and the D-line right now is what's killing the Steelers. Sixberg says, what does the color have to do with missing the playoffs 5 years running? That is a fact. That is a fact, sir. See, now that's a criticism. But see, people will tell me that I won't say that. I said that this year. That is fair. A very fair criticism of Mike Tomlin is his playoff record over the last 10 years. Absolutely. And if we all ain't on the same page with that, then there's some bias somewhere for whatever reason. That you cannot refute. That you have never heard me refute. That you have always heard me say, yeah, now we got to start looking at that. But when people try to say if he's a good coach or not, that's why I disagree and say, no, I think he's a great coach. Playoff record is playoff record. That is a fair critique. That is. Ain't nothing you can say about that. And that's my point, Sixberg. That's my point. When we keep it on tangible things like that, you can't refuse it. There's nothing you can say. But when people start bringing this weird stuff out the air, that's when it gets nutty. The Egyptian Queen, round of applause for the donation. Egyptian Queen says, we lost at the line of scrimmage on offense and defense. Let me read that again, because that's where I'm going. We lost the line of scrimmage on offense and defense. 30-3 at halftime. Cincy knew we had to throw the rest of the game. Najee had 23 yards versus Joe Mixon's 165. Season over. That's it in a nutshell. I'm going there. I'll get there in a second. That's it in a nutshell. That's what happened today. Let me just get there, man. Then I'll come back and read a few more comments. This team all season, some of y'all right here in this chat have been saying our offensive line isn't good, right? Yes or no? We're going to do some call and response here. Yes or no? Have some of you all in this very chat been saying all season, this offensive line sucks? I'm going to wait because I want to get some answers. I want some of you guys to answer that. Have y'all not said all season since probably week one that the offensive line sucks? Have you guys not said that? Some of you. Now, those of you that didn't say that, sure. But have we not said that all season? And even if you didn't say it personally, did you not see it here in the chat each week? There we go. Yes. 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 Ali says, see, since the offseason. Yes. Yes. Okay. Is that the offensive line not being good right now? Is that on Adrian Clem, Matt Canada, or Mike Tomlin? As coaches, we're going to throw them all in there. Is that on them that this offensive line is not doing what they're supposed to do on the field? Or do we have to put some of that on the offensive line, the people? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to sway anyone. I'm just asking. The way y'all felt about the offensive line, do y'all feel that way about the player? Or you're saying that they can't block well because Adrian Clem is not teaching them how to block, or Matt Canada is not teaching them how to block, or Mike Tomlin hasn't taught them how to block. Cutboy says it's up to the players to execute. Leonard Green says the O-line has been trashed. That hasn't changed. When you play a good team, it gets magnified. Okay. The Simple Vapor says both, really. I just want you to explain it. Explain it. What part of that is on the coaches? I'm not challenging. I am asking. And I need some of y'all to stop, because people will come after the show and say, man, you can't. No, I'm not making an excuse for anybody. I'm just pointing out what we see. I'm not in favor of the coaches or the players. I'm not in favor of Tomlin or who else. I'm a Steeler fan. Just because I like Mike Tomlin as a coach does not mean if I woke up tomorrow and we had a new coach, then I'm distraught. I would just be like, dang, I don't know if I would have did that, but then I keep going. I don't have no allegiance to anybody. I have an allegiance to the team I like. But I want you to explain that. He says both. I want to know. Don't just say that. Tell me what part of it is on the coach based off of what you've seen with your own eyes, how this offensive line has blocked. I want y'all to educate me on where it's the coach's fault. Round of applause to Andre Romero for the donation. Appreciate it. He says, season's done. Just want to see Ben get his stats up. It don't matter, man. I mean, Ben getting his stats up now don't really mean nothing. He's a Hall of Famer. But I feel you. I ain't mad at you for that. Lydell Dorsey, this is an interesting comment. He says, majority players' fault to hold them accountable. Still, additionally, Colbert for choosing the players, but also some of Canada for not adapting to using the strengths of his personnel. Thank you, Lydell. Round of applause to Lydell Dorsey. I'm going to read Ali's comment as well. Only thing the O-line that can be blamed on for coaching is the constant of putting players at new positions in the NFL level. Thank you, Ali. Real facts. Only blame they get is believing this line would be sustainable. We can judge their decisions to trust the young players, but no, we can't blame execution. Round of applause. Y'all see the theme here? I asked that question for a reason, to see who would come with some validity. Those are all valid points that they all said, even the coaching side. Thank you, 3. That's all I'm saying. I don't really read into the stuff that don't have no validity to it. If you can't tell me exactly why you feel this way, I don't really listen to it. And I'm just being honest with y'all. If I can't articulate myself to explain to you guys exactly why I don't like this or that, y'all shouldn't listen to me either. That's just a life thing. I don't just go off of the knee jerk. No, give me some substance. Oh, round of applause here, man. We got a donation from Darren Covington. I really appreciate that, brother. Now we have another comment here I want to read from Brian 3. He says, time for Tomlin to go. This team isn't improving with him. This team always underachieves. This team has too much talent to be this bad, and that falls on the coaches. Now, I don't disagree with Brian here, right? That's his opinion. But he gave me the reason why he felt that way. Whether I agree with his reason or not doesn't matter. This man gave me his reason. That's all I be saying. A lot of y'all can't do that. Most of y'all just say, oh, that sucks. Oh, that's he got to, and y'all have no reason why you saying it. Have no validity to it. None. This actually could be a valid point from Brian. the team hasn't actually improved that much. We haven't taken the next step under Tomlin. That is a fair assessment. We just have consistently been a winning team. But it's a fair assessment to say the team hasn't improved. The only thing where I would disagree, though, is the blanket statement of that falls on coaches. I just want to know what stuff have you seen over the years that make you feel like that? That's all. But mostly, I agree with what you're saying. That's a great assessment. At least you gave an assessment. Man, another donation. Round of applause to the Simple Vapor. I don't know why I keep getting brighter in here, guys. I don't know why that's doing that. Let me turn that down a little bit. Oops. There we go. He says it's both really 70% Tomlin, in my opinion. You gotta give me. Thank you for your donation and all, but you gotta give me more of that opinion. That don't do nothing for me. You gonna tell me it's 70%? He's 70% to blame for the offensive line woes. Man, y'all going crazy with the donations. Round of applause to C.T. Pittman. Man, goodness gracious. The only blame I could put on the front office is not building the offense and defense together. We built a top-tier defense, then tried to build an offensive line. We heard in training camp how bad the defense was beating the offensive line. Round of applause again to CT. All I'm saying, guys, because I'm actually trying to get people to view things in a more well-rounded function. Let's take Tomlin out the picture. I want y'all to act this way when we have a new coach. Because if you never take time to break down what's really happening, you're always going to think it's just the head coach. And I ask these questions just to show you guys there's multiple things that these people here in the chat, I love all y'all. Y'all are giving great explanations as to what else is contributing to the losing. This is what I'm saying. You got to look at it from a whole. But most people just want to blame the head coach, even when the team is winning. Even if when we were 11-0, you know what was funny? Ain't no whole lot of people say it was Tomlin. Y'all remember that? Because I do. I do. Not a whole lot of people said it's because of him. The funny thing is, I kept coming on here every week saying, man, this boy, we the worst. Like, we're the worst undefeated team I've ever seen. I was still keeping it 100. We had another donation, man. I missed one. Hold on. Let's go back. I just saw the one that just came in, and I thought we missed it. Oh, here we go. Darren Covington for another donation there. Darren, this is a tough one. Again, it is funny because I went back to this. I said this last week. This kind of reminds me of the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, where the team just kept getting gouged. Now, they didn't gouge us as much, but yeah, the defense just. But remember, man, I just didn't feel good about us early on, man. The episodes are out there. I just kept saying, man, one game the defense plays well, the next game the offense don't do. We haven't shown any real consistency all season. And when the defense springs a leak, it really springs a leak. And where we've been really springing that leak is that run defense, man. It's horrible. Horrible. Round of applause, man, to C. Brown for the donation. Man, y'all going crazy today. That's a good point. He says, do you notice the difference in our offense since Todd Haley was released? Yeah. Thing is, Todd Haley was really what got Ben into getting rid of the ball quick. And this is just my opinion. You know what? Let me go into it right now because I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping the show up. Because I want to talk about that and the trenches. Here we go. Here we go with some ignorant stuff in here. Hold on, guys. I gotta catch it so I can block it. People so stupid, man. I don't understand it. We got another donation? Jesus. Shadow Slayer, round of applause. He says, Sim, can we get a corner it's above 5'9" because we can't keep putting them on tall wide receivers. Pierre got Moss like you do with your little brother. You think Anthony Miller catch on the one hand? Yeah, that one-handed catch by Anthony Miller was yowza. Like it made me perk up. I was like, oh, we didn't get the first down, but that was beautiful. Yeah, and Pierre, I don't think Pierre is that small, right? Is Pierre like 6 feet, 6'1"? I'm not 100% sure, but plain and simple, man, if we're being honest about it, there's two glaring issues with this team. The trenches. We haven't had consistency in the trenches. The offensive line have had games where they've just gotten bullied around. Now, have they had games where they've stood in there? Yeah, because I've said it. I've said that too, and I'm still going to own that. And maybe by the end of the season, I will end up being wrong. I will still say the offensive line is playing better than I expected. They've had moments, like I showed you guys in the clips last week. Well, you guys were able to see that. They had moments where they protected very well, and they have moments. But then they have these other moments where these certain defensive lines just give them problems, and they get pushed back. Even like when Ben threw the pick. The second one, it kind of was, he couldn't really step into the throw, but part of the reason why Mike Hilton was able to pick that is what I'm going to go to next. And then on the defensive side, man, I mean, listen, it's not an excuse, and I never will make an excuse, but it's clear. It's clear without Stephon Tuitt and Alu that the run defense took a significant blow. It's clear. Now, people can say that's an excuse or not. No, listen. If the team is going to have a next man up mentality, so will I. But it's clear that the run defense is not the same with those guys out there. Clear. And with Devin Bush not being an attacking inside linebacker, those three factors right there is probably a big reason why the defensive line, or in general, the run defense has been poor. And tackling. And once again, we can agree to disagree, but I will not sit here and say tackling at the NFL level is on the coaches. No, I'm not going to do that. Not when we know the Pittsburgh Steelers has a physical training camp, beyond physical. Ben Roethlisberger has come out and said that before. Maybe we shouldn't be as physical, right? So if he's saying that, there's no way. Y'all know what? Hold on, man. This thing is driving me crazy. Let me put the white balance on auto. There we go. Yeah, there's no way you're going to, yeah. Yeah. No way you're going to put that on. No way. You know what I mean? We're a physical team, man, in training camp. No team really does live tackling during the season, so I don't want to hear none of that. They need to know how to tackle. Yes, thank you, Darren Covington. Round of applause. I don't know what's going on with this picture today, man. I don't know what's going on. The lighting ain't right. It's all jacked up. Says, Sim, I feel bad. Feel sorry for Cam. TJ wasn't right today. And that's why I have TJ in the thumbnail. And, it could be because he's coming off an injury or whatever. But TJ was very quiet today. Very quiet. Very quiet. And I know they were doing some things to chip him and things like that, but he was quiet. I got to point that out. And y'all know I love TJ Watt. But the facts are the facts. TJ was not a factor today at all. He wasn't. Like I said, could be the injury, I'm sure, but he just wasn't a factor today. But, again, the Steelers are not winning the trench battles We're not good against the run. Evidence is there now. We're not good against the run. We're not that good offensively. Running the ball consistently, especially depending on certain, looks that we get. We couldn't run the ball today. We really couldn't get off the ground because we were in the hole so fast. But it seems like it's going to be situations where we have to pass. Because the Steelers, if we can't stop the run, man, teams are just going to continue to run the ball on us. And it's going to make it a very long day for us, and we're going to be in catch-up mode. But because we're not winning the line of scrimmage at the defensive side or offensive side, this is why I'm sticking to what I said. The season is over. It's the same reason why I have not had confidence in this team this entire season. And why I said this team is not the team that's going to get it done. It's not. I just don't believe it, guys. I don't care about us going to the playoffs. We're not going to beat good teams when the money is on the line. We're not. I don't feel that way. Now, if some miracle happens and I end up being wrong, I will accept that. But ain't no way y'all telling me that y'all have confidence in this team today. And the next thing, Ben Roethlisberger, right? Teams know how he plays. They know how he plays now. When we go in 5 wide, well, I keep saying 5 wide, but it just technically is not 5 wide unless you have a certain personnel. When we go empty, most teams know what he's going to do now. It's quick hits. They know where he's going. We don't have routes that develop downfield. Have y'all noticed that? We don't have some of these routes that other teams pull off. And part of that is the offensive line. I don't think they trust the offensive line to hold up and give Ben an extra second or two to allow some of these routes to develop downfield. You notice most of the time when we go downfield, it's outside the numbers and it's one-on-one shots. Or we're doing quick checkdowns or quick outs, or, you know what I'm saying? We don't really run too many over routes and things like that, or corner routes. Nothing that has to develop. We don't really do it. So teams are able to sit on it. Mike Hilton was able to sit on that. He read it perfect because he knows he played with Ben, remember? And the fact that it was a little pressure in Ben's face and he couldn't step into it. He throws it a little short. Mike Hilton undercuts it. He's gone. But you notice in this game how many of those passes that we got off, they're right there to tackle the catch. They know what we're going to do because of, one, Ben might be limited, of course, with his mobility. 2, they don't trust the O-line to hold up. And the offense is extremely predictable. The only thing that we've done differently and we've been a little successful with is some of the play actions. Didn't do many of those last year. But when Ben just stand in the pocket against a team that's got really solid defense, or at least they got a front that can create some real pressure, there's no ad-libbing happening. And then Ben seems to, like somebody said earlier, he tends to, it's like he has this shutdown mechanism as far as get it out really quick. Or pump fake. He keeps pump faking. He's been doing it his whole career. But again, I'm on record on many shows this year. I'm on record saying that pump fake is going to hurt us. And it has cost us a few times this season because he's not the same guy. His mobility ain't the same. So it's not like he can pump and run around. All of that is a factor. And the offensive line maybe not giving enough time. So the pump, that delays things. That doesn't buy him time. It actually buys the the pressure time to get to him. Just speaking the facts, man, from what I'm seeing. And that's it. That's why I said his team is not going to do much, man. Listen, rebuilding the offensive line doesn't happen overnight. Does not happen overnight. So I think they are playing pretty much to what we expected. But this is why I came here at the beginning of the season saying, I don't think this team is the one to get it done. We have to accept that we are in a rebuild. Y'all can call it what y'all want, but it is a rebuild because the offensive line got reconstructed and we had, even Kevin Dotson is out. I mean, it's still not what the preferred starting 5 was supposed to be. in the last 2 games. Kendrick Green is showing himself that, he's probably not going to be the best center. Maybe we move him to guard because the kid's aggression and his motor, I want to keep that on the team some kind of way. But this is just what it is. And then if we want to say it's because of the injuries, well, okay, it's valid. The guys that we don't have on the defensive side of the ball that play in the trenches. But these are all of the reasons why I felt like we're not going to be a great team. And by losing this game today, man, I don't have no confidence with Baltimore coming to town. Y'all can say what people going to say, oh, well, they might not be whatever the greatest, but why would I go into this game thinking, oh, we got this one? I don't think that. So I think the season is over. And more importantly, I think the season is over because even if, what I mean by that, let me end it by saying this. What I mean when I say the season is over, I mean that any hopes that you thought of them winning the Super Bowl should be out of the window. I don't care about them getting to the playoffs. They're not going to beat any of these good teams when they need to do it. I don't believe that happens. We're not consistent enough. Our offense just looked horrible today. As far as consistency, just terrible. Terrible. But, all right, man. That's about all I got. Somebody said, preach, Gregory. What Gregory say? Where's Gregory? Let me find Gregory's comment. I'm just curious. He says, truth is Tomlin won with cowards players and schemes and LeBeau, the trash is. All right, hey, man, listen, I'm not going to argue how anybody feels about it. That stuff cracks me up too. And they won with so-and-so's team. And all right, man. I mean, listen, y'all can have those opinions, but can any of you guys take somebody's team and go win a Super Bowl with them? I don't know, man. Like I said, I appreciate your comment and appreciate your opinion, but what I want y'all to do, and I'm going to challenge this until the day happens, I want y'all to have that same energy when Tomlin is not the coach. I can't wait for that. That's a secret that y'all don't know about me. I cannot wait until the day that the Steelers have another head coach. Oh boy, I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to forget all of the crazy that people say. I can't wait until that day happens. Because I guarantee you it's going to be the same rhetoric. No substance. I can't wait. I can't wait. Just to show you, I don't have no allegiance to the coach. I have enjoyed Mike Tomlin as a head coach. And I still like Mike Tomlin, the person, and the coach that he seems to be per the players. Not what I think, per the people he played with. But when he goes, we'll see. I'm going to hope this coach does the same thing. And what's going to really crack y'all up, I'm going to shoot him, because they say I shoot bail. I'm going to shoot him the same bail. I'm going to judge him the same way as far as what I think is a coach issue versus a player issue. But y'all ain't. Y'all ain't. We'll see. And it's funny, man, because I see like the people who just despise the coach. They so like, this gonna be his first season. But dog, listen, the wins don't mean nothing without championships. I get it. But there's 32 teams in the league that say the same thing. But the funny thing is, why people literally try to say how bad of a coach this guy is, and we talking about this potentially being his first. Man, y'all don't go somewhere, man. But anyway, I can't wait till it happens, bro. Oh, Afro said it was the same way when Chuck. No, that's what I'm saying. People just, the opinions are so. And let me back off of it. I keep saying I'm not gonna feed into it. I have your opinion. It's just the things. It's certain things that my spirit just won't allow me to believe about coaches. And this is not specific to Tomlin. That's the thing that I want people to understand. Like, y'all think it's just Tomlin. It ain't. I would feel this way with any coach. Any. Y'all know who else I don't think is a bad coach that got a bad rap? I don't think Mike McCarthy was a horrible coach when he was at Green Bay. But as soon as they won't winning, guess what? Now he's a horrible coach. Oh, and every week that Dallas don't win, oh, now he's horrible. I don't think so. I think the man is a good coach. You know who else I think is a great coach? In my opinion, I think Pete Carroll's a good coach. I don't think, Pete Carroll may have had some issues. I don't understand what happened there with the beast mode situation in the Super Bowl. But he's a good coach. I still think Sean McVay is a good coach. But remember, people was writing him off too when the Rams started losing. See, it's weird what people do from the outside. It's crazy. But whatever. All right, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Listen, we're not a good team right now. Just is what it is. So let's continue. Well, y'all do what y'all want, but I'm going to continue to support this team. Every week I'll be here doing this, and whether we lose the remaining games or not, I'm still a fan through and through, and I'm just kicking it the way I see it, man, trying to be as objective as I can. The blame for the team not being good is a combination of everything, players and coaches, because the coaches maybe need to do a better job with game planning. There's a Tomlin thing. I know it's but so much you can do, but you got to try something. It just seems like, don't get in, man. Some of them defenses that we put out there, that's Butler and Tomlin. But all right, man. I'll catch y'all later. If you haven't done it already, make sure you do this. Oh, y'all can't see it. Never mind. I'll just say it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, cut on your notifications, hit the like button if you like what you saw. And if you didn't like it, that's fine too. You can dislike, feel free. But I will be back, guys, for Tuesday, Terrible Towel Tuesday, and that's when I will open up the phone calls for you guys to call and give me your thoughts. Some of y'all that do all that chapping in the chat, give me the yak, call. Let's hear you on the phone. That's when we can really hear how you feel. 619-924-0818. The majority of the show on Tuesday will be for you callers. That's what I want y'all to do. But until then, y'all be safe. Watch some football tonight and see what else happens in the AFC North. And other than that, listen, man, this is where we at. This is where we at. But I'll catch y'all later, man. Be safe. Be great. God bless. And good night. Thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.